everyone, I'm going to read you one of my favourite stories from one of my favourite books when I was your age. And that story is going to be The Tale of Peter Rabbit. So I hope you're comfy and I hope you're ready so we can begin. Once upon a time, there were 4 little rabbits, and their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail and Peter. They lived with their mother in a sandbank underneath the root of a very big fir tree. "Now then," said Mrs. Rabbit one morning to her children, "you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Your father had an accident there. He was put into a pie by Mrs. McGregor. Run along now and don't get into mischief. I'm going out," said Mrs. Rabbit. Then she took her basket and umbrella and went through the wood to the baker. Flopsy, Mopsy and Cottontail, who were good little bunnies, went down the lane to gather blackberries, but Peter, who was very naughty, ran off towards Mr. McGregor's garden. On the way he saw his cousin Benjamin. "Meet me tomorrow at the big fir tree," Benjamin whispered. Peter squeezed under the gate into Mr. McGregor's garden. First he ate some lettuce and some French beans, and then he ate some radishes. "Oh, my favourite," he said happily. And then, feeling rather sick, Peter went to look for some parsley. But whom do you think he should meet round the end of the cucumber frame? "Oh, help!" gasped Peter. "It's Mr. McGregor!" Mr. McGregor jumped up and was after Peter in no time, shouting, "Stop, thief!" Peter was most dreadfully frightened. He rushed all over the garden, for he had forgotten the way back to the gate. He lost his shoes and ran faster on all fours. Indeed, Peter might have got away altogether if he had not run into a gooseberry net. "Hurry, Peter, hurry," urged some friendly sparrows. "It's no use," sobbed Peter, trying to struggle free. "My brass buttons are all caught up." Peter rushed into the tool shed and jumped into a watering can. It would have been a beautiful thing to hide in if it had not had so much water in it. "Come on out, you wee beastie," muttered Mr. McGregor, searching for Peter under the flower pots. Suddenly Peter sneezed. Achoo! And Mr. McGregor was after him in no time. Peter jumped out of the window and ran off. Peter found a door in a wall, but it was locked and there was no room for him to squeeze underneath. He asked an old mouse the way to the gate, but she had such a large pea in her mouth that she could not answer. Peter began to cry. Peter came to a pond where a white cat was staring at some goldfish. He crept away quietly. He had heard about cats from his cousin Benjamin Bunny, and then Peter saw the gate. He ran as fast as he could and was safe at last in the wood outside the garden. Mr. McGregor hung up the little jacket and shoes for the scarecrow. Peter was not very well during the evening, so his mother put him to bed and made him some chamomile tea. But Flopsy and Mopsy and Cottontail had bread and milk and blackberries for supper. Peter was a very cheeky rabbit indeed, wasn't he? Hopefully you guys are all listening to your mummies and daddies and your aunties and uncles and grandmas and granddads. So, I hope you enjoyed the story and I hope you really liked it. And now it's time to write about it. All right, guys, bye.